Okay, so let's take a look at everything going on in here. Now, for right now, I'm not going to update the creation sort of aspect of these assets because what I want to do in the future is say make an actual Unity editor tool that allows us to create these sort of a lot more quickly on the fly. It creates the nodes for us, all that kind of stuff, depending on how long we want the array to be, as well as self-naming them. But for right now, let's focus on what they do on each one. So, like I set up on the whiteboard when I went there, I don't know if I'll have that attached to this video. Essentially, we listed three things. We listed they can get to a point and then pause using simple coroutine. Coroutine? Coroutine. The pause, essentially. We're going to use a simple pause that takes a certain amount of seconds, and we can define what that is within the actual script itself. And then they move on to the next one, the next travel point. You can find an interact something when you're there, which means you basically get to that position, redirect the person to whatever the object is, play an animation, or do whatever you need to do there, which again makes it hard because I don't have an animation quite yet. So we'll have to make sure that we can get that in the way that is. But for right now, we'll just have the character move to an object. We'll just have them pause for right now, and then go back to their regular scheduled travel points. And then the hardest one, perhaps, is find, which means they go to an area, and then they search for something in an area, and then either they find it, reach it, and get there, and then move on, or after a certain amount of time they give up and then move on to travel points for wherever they are. Now we could do that that last one, the find one, in a couple different ways. First of all, we can have them sort of wander around aimlessly, trying to look as if they're trying to look for something. We can define a certain bubble at which they sort of look in, but even then it kind of contains the wandering. I think what we're going to do is just go and use our wandering script to sort of make them look like they're looking for something, and make sure that that's implemented in a way that we can sort of define what that's going to look like for our characters. Now, overall on this whole thing, what's going to be interesting about this entire script, where is it now? Player move, AI character move. Okay. What's going to be interesting about this whole script, essentially, is that it's all going to be, as far as everything going on here, it's all going to be able to be stopped and paused to interact with the player character. So all the positions, everything goes on pause, essentially, because we don't want to erase any of it, because they're still going to go about their day. It's all going to be erased for when, although it's not all going to be erased. Although I'm thinking once they actually get to the character, it might be good to have a point in the script where they then redirect themselves to a new task. So yes, we'll worry about that in a bit. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go through each of the points, and then we'll we'll try to make it through there. So here's what's gonna happen. I don't necessarily want to attach that kind of script directly to the AI actor itself, because then we'll start really filling this up to the point where it just gets to be a really large script, essentially, as far as, customization. What I want the player character to do in a whole is going to be here, and then for each of the nodes, essentially, we're going to attach this script and it's going to define what they do once they get to that point. So we're basically going to be creating a whole new script that's going to be communicating with the AI actor character move script. So now I'm thinking we're going to rename this before we start linking anything. Now, we need to make sure that a couple things happen at this point. We can rename the script, but we also have to make sure it's reflected in Unity itself. It's going to start throwing up. It's going to start throwing up errors, just barfing them out at us, like it is right now with our other button script. I guess I can't. Okay, good. So I can't. What? It's not going to let me do this. It shouldn't. AI actor 1. I don't understand what's happening here. It's renamed it to the actor itself. Okay. Good. Character move. So we're going to go ahead. Yes, okay, cool. So we just have to go in here and make sure we mirror this name perfectly. And how to do that? See. Okay, cool. Which means this will be working. Once it loads, my computer is slowly dying, but okay, cool. So works for that actor. Let me make sure it gets the other ones. 2 actor. Awesome. Okay, good. It does work. Make sure that everything's working fine. That's what makes it, that's what is important about the beginning when you're choosing naming conventions. Ooh. I see. I sort of broke the fade, but I can fix that. That's fine. Alright. So, yes, we're going to start with the pause. So, we're going to create a new script within, not UI scripts. This is just scripts. Environmental scripts. I am going to fashion these into their own folder, essentially. Scripts. Okay, so AI node action. Sure. AI node action. I'm going to immediately hate this script. That's fine. Okay. So now we've created it. Let's go ahead and open it up. It's going to take us into here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and take away some of this camera controller. Don't open. Interactable player move. Let's go ahead and open up the script, boys. There we go. And just to make sure, I'm gonna have these two lined up so I make sure that I get their variable naming conventions down properly. Okay. So we are going to need one coroutine for I'm going to figure out how to pronounce that. One one for just pausing, and one for the wandering. So, and then the other thing we'll have to do to this script is make sure that we know to properly signal to the node action scripts, which that we have arrived, and then we'll get there. We'll get there. So we're gonna have 2 coroutines. We're gonna have a couple bools. Let's start with the first coroutine, and let me make sure I got this right. So what do we have a coroutine on anything here? Just to reference back. So camera shift, day night dialogue, no. Let's exit, no. Interactable, no. Node link data. Oh, okay. No. No. I mean, I could do it coroutine wise. Let's just do this. So coroutine unity, or sorry, C shred. Maybe not C#. Let's go to Unity. This might be a Unity coroutine. Okay. Alright, so I know it's an enumerator, and then, alright. Changes those, wait seconds, start coroutine, okay. Actually, I think this is how he did the fade script, if I'm not mistaken. Button, canvas, button, fade to black. Well, maybe he didn't. Maybe this is all... Well, anyway. Yep. Maybe this is all, what am I saying? Okay. Well, so anyway. So yeah, we'll be using an enumerator essentially and creating our first function. So let's go ahead and do that. So I enumerable. What's it? No, it's an enumerator, right? How we do this? Enumerator. Okay, gotcha. So it's just declaration of it, or not the declaration. So this is going to be character. No. This is going to be we'll call this still. Okay. Stand. Well, what's called stand? How about that? Okay. We're called stand. It doesn't return a value. Okay. So we don't need that. Right? What do you mean? Yeah. You're good. What do you want? What do you want? Auto code pass return a value. Okay. Well, this one kind of is. or at least it's returning something. I think this is one of those ones that gets really antsy if I don't. I'm just going to copy this, paste it, because I'll have to write it out. Yeah, it's one of those ones that gets real antsy if you don't tell it what to do. Okay, we're going to have this wait for one. Nope, not 14. 1.0. F. Sure. Update. Actually, let's make this 2 seconds just to make it more dramatic. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is link the scripts. Now, this is going to take, and I keep forgetting how to do this, but I use it a lot. I don't necessarily forget, the exact context to which. Linking Unity scriptable variable. No. I knew this wasn't going to come up because there's scriptable objects in Unity. Linking scripts Unity. Yeah, but you can use get component, I guess. But there's an exact variable that you wanna have. It's funny because this is JavaScript, so you don't even have to define what that is, right? Yeah, it is JavaScript. All right, well let's take a shot in the dark. Public script. No. Well, all right, tell you what. I think it'll just work if I just put the variable I want to have brought over from the other script and just use that as the get component. So we're gonna right now define what the thing is that we get when we reach a node. So we're going to need to both alert the script when we reach a point, and then we're going to need to be able to also send off the data for what node we're currently getting to. So, which means we need to send off the point num, and we need to send off when point num and these two the character and the point nums meet. So we need to do this a little better. What we're going to do is this. We're going to create a function, sorry, not a function, a variable that concatenates these things into one, as well as these things into one. And honestly, that was probably better from the start anyways. So let's go ahead and let's do private float, and let's call this character position. No. Let's call this that's the hard part. Let's call it move something. No. I hate watching these back because I always think of something way better when I'm looking at them. Character destination Chardest. Let's compare. Let's do that. All right. Terrible name. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to update this in real time, which means that it's still going to have to go here, but I can on start. Actually, you know what? So we're going to have a float for this variable, for this value, and for this value separately, which means this is actually going to have to be a vector 3. Oh, oopsies. Vector 3. Okay. And then private float character vector position, and then private float node vector position. And then those things are going to be compared within here. Okay. So we're basically comparing two of them at once. Actually, these are all going to have to be vector 3s. Because otherwise I have to make 4 of these, and I don't really want to do that. Vector 3. And then vector 3. All right. So let's go ahead and start defining these. So character vector position is going to equal this dot. No, oh, hold on. It's gonna equal new vector 3. This. Okay, so this one. So we're gonna have to be comparing the x, the y, and no y. So this is gonna be x. I'm gonna set it as if I want to just ignore the y. How do I ignore the y? Let's see. Vector 3 ignore Igor. Ignore value unity. uh, Isn't this riveting? This is a lot of what programming is now. Move towards. That's not what I want, though. Because it's not physics. I could use vector 3 distance. But it's not going to go directly to there. Oh my god. I'm actually going to have to do this, huh? Ugh. Pause. Okay. So maybe what I can do is have them define their x and their y values. Or, I'm sorry, x and the z values. And then write a script to compare them, and then just make that sort of simple within here. It just seems like a lot of extra crap. Tell you what, I'll just pause through some of my thinking process unless I have something to say. I'm going to do these side by side so that I can compare them, because I think there's a way I can make this happen. So, new vector 3, which, no, vector 3. So it's going to be point, points, what was it? No, I'm sorry. This is going to be referencing the point num, and then well, yeah, actually, it's just going to be this position for the x. Y, and then see. So we'll just add these in for now. Control V. All right. Okay. All right. So we have the two positions. The only problem is that if I'm going to compare these two directly, well, will it? Because it'll always be 0. Have I overthought this? Have I thought this like an idiot? All right, well, let's go ahead and compare these two. So, 2 vector 3. Can't have a vector 3 within a vector 3, I don't think. Let's take a quick comparing 2 vector 3 unity. I say unity because C# and unity aren't exactly the same thing. Use distances. This one's the simplest. Put more control whatever you want to do. Actually, should be quite simple. Here's something like this. This is still JavaScript. Gosh darn it. Unity C#. Okay. Although, honestly, I'm willing to bet this will work, actually. If char character in position equals node vector position. If not, we'll go ahead and fix it. I think this will work. Let's give it a shot. Because comparing the x, the y, and the z, and but the y is always going to be 0. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see. Actually, let's go ahead and see what we come up with. It's either gonna break or it's gonna work. My money's on breaking, because it always does. Yep, broken. Broken. Okay. Is it because it's probably because it only sets one value? Okay. I can't just new, can I? I don't think that'll work. No. All right, which means I need to put this into here. And then this should work. I mean, allegedly. Everything's allegedly. It should work. But I think that might be it. Yeah. Make sure it keeps going. So yeah, that works. Okay. Cool. Now, what we're going to need to do is use this. So we're actually going to compare. Bool. Let's turn that into a bool for right now. So that means that when these points hit, essentially, let's just, never mind. Equals true. Let's just make that for the sake of it. All right, let's go ahead and put this here. I think we're gonna want the loop here, because, or the bool here, because that way we know when we've reached something. Well, we can even turn these into two. Actually, let's do that. Let's also clean up this code just a little bit. So, I mean, array reverse equals false. Put this in here. And if oopsie doopsies. Array reverse equals true. Put that there. Create this whole thing. So it's all within one. So we'll just be comparing those. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is that way we only have to put this in once. And that way we can just do it. So character distance compare equals true. Tur. Took a lunch pause. So, anyways, back to what we were doing. Cool. So that makes it a little bit more neat and tidy. So the next thing we're going to have to do is link this so that it knows when it's true or false. So it reaches the destination. Character destination. So destination compare equals true. And if that's not the case, so else. Oh, I already did that, didn't I? Equals false. Okay, cool. So, since we're going to be using this one to link, we're actually going to make this public. And what I talked about before is public and private. If I want my other scripts to be able to see and maybe necessarily manipulate it, but certainly use it, it needs to be public, which means we'll be able to see it now. So let's go ahead and give it a whirl. Which one's this? Oh, gotta wait for it to load up. Up. AI assets. We're going to go with number 2. So we'll be able to see this one. It's interesting. Something I really like is camel case in Unity actually already spaces it out. So we should see that switch come on and off real quick. Right there. But it never does it? Unless I missed something. Never triggers. Alright, so why would that be? If these two things compare equals true, otherwise it equals false. Let's see if this code is affecting it. Let's go ahead and comment it out. Whoopsie daisies. Go back. Relax. Okay. This will test to see. So I took off the switch that basically says that turn it off once you've not reached destination. Okay. So it does switch on for just a periodical moment. So let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to do one more. I'm going to actually comment this out to make sure that this isn't impeding it, even if we don't switch over. So it's not going to count up, which means it's not going to direct to the next one, essentially. But I want to make sure that this still isn't impeding it, even without the code working. It shouldn't, but again, with programming, like, it shouldn't doesn't mean a whole lot when it doesn't. Okay. So, allegedly, it is firing this off. So since it's at the top, it's firing this off before it ever gets to this. Or, anyway, so this should be the first thing that happens. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to start by publicly finding this bool, public bool, character reached, let's see, node reached. Sure. Look at that. Okay, so at the very start, we're going to define this node. Node reached equals get component so since it's all linked together, component linked together, I said we get component in children, maybe. In children, actually, you know what? In parent. There we go. We're gonna find yes, I know. No. Okay, this I'm gonna have to double check this one because I want to locate this. And here, so get component unity. Game logic get component. Yep. Game logic type of hinge. No, we don't want hinged. You know what? Hold on. Script variable unity. Take a look. Okay. This might be an occasion to use the awake. Or maybe not, actually. Alright, actually, so what I'm going to do is, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to blue. I'm going to make public game object AI AI instance. How about that? AI instance. So at the start, node reached equals AI instance dot get component. We're going to reference the script, which is AI character move. So what we're doing is we're basically adding a reference to the AI itself, to the character itself. Then we're saying, okay, we're looking inside of all of its components, which is this stuff here on the set. So we are referencing this, and then we're saying look down and look for this script right here. And so now we have that script. And so we're going to go ahead and look. We're going to say inside of that script, we're looking for character destination compare. All right. And since they're both bools, I now am being affected directly by that. Now, then what I want to do is fire the yield basically into here. So coroutine in there. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this. Well, no. Public void execute stand and then we're gonna say stand. Oh, stand. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly how that works. Okay, so this isn't going to do anything quite yet, but we're going to make sure that this is communicating with that. All right. So we're going to go to point 1, which is right here, and we're going to go ahead and add in AI node action, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our character, and we're going to make sure that this happens. Okay. So what we're looking for right now is just making sure that the node reach actually fires, because it's very quick. I couldn't actually perceive it, I guess, but let's see if it actually fires. See if it fires off. It does not. It does not fire off. It doesn't have time. Interesting. But it fires this off. All right. Although, actually, it's maybe the same situation where it's just because it's firing essentially the same thing. Let's go ahead and give it a look-see. We're looking right here. No. No, it's not communicating. Although, here, let's make sure. So, that's fired. That's not. Okay. Which means there's a communication error between these things. A component in children, perhaps. Because, I mean... No. Alright. Everything in place. Yeah, in children. Well, let's give it a shot. Maybe. Perhaps. Perhaps, maybe. Maybe just looking in the wrong spot. It was not. Interesting. Oh, cool. It's not updating from anywhere. All right. How should I update this? Yeah, sure. Let's X. Let's just throw it in here for right now, and see what we can do. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I was just being an idiot. Cool. Alright. So those are communicating just fine. Now, let me test something, because awake. I don't think this is going to work, but the script isn't necessarily being called upon right now. Yeah, that's not going to work at all. Okay, so then now in this script we have the waiting, which means that we need to have it communicate back to the character move. Which means you need to start setting up stuff within here. This needs to be renamed as well, because it's not array find anymore. It's something completely different. We can get rid of this. Okay. So So let's go ahead and create private. I think it'll still be fine if we do private. Although honestly, might as well just make it public. Public void node actions. Call it node actions. We're going to start. And what we're going to do essentially is put array find within here and have it update through node actions. So we're going to start with quarantine. Let me think about this. We're gonna fire off quarantine. We'll call this how would I start this out? We're gonna say, hey, we're firing off the start. So we're gonna need to signal from here, because this is gonna hold all of our triggers essentially for whatever action is being taken with the node. But then now this will probably be a case where we deal with switches essentially, because that's just gonna be easier, I think. So what we're going to do is handle this. We're going to, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to change this to travel find. And this is going to be our baseline sort of code, essentially. This is going to be how we travel about, and then this is going to be what happens when we travel to each destination. So regardless of what happens here, this takes priority over what's happening then. So we're basically going to be firing this off through this, essentially. Okay, let's go in and take a look. So first we have the quarantine. Seconds. It might. I might. I don't know. What does mono behavior get me? Let's say Unity mono behavior. Mono behavior. Okay. Okay. So that handles all the stuff I need. I'm wondering if I was just to switch this from inheriting from AI node action, or AI node action, if that would break my updates, because I mean AI node still inherits from there. That may not be the best though, because public, private, yeah, that's not what I'm going to want to do. It's kind of what I want to do, but in actuality, I don't necessarily want to do that, because here's what will happen, is that now that that's the case, I'm going to be... Did I save it already? I did save it. It's going to be inheriting this as well. It's going to be inheriting all of its stuff. Node reach, that kind of stuff. which, I mean, we could deal with. Let's see, does it break it? Because I'm pretty sure mono behavior still comes over with the node. So let's see. No, it does break it. It does break it because mono behavior handles the updates, and unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Alright, never mind. That would make it easy though, because that way I could reference these functions directly. I'm pretty sure. Not 100% sure. I'd still have to check up on that, but you know. Maybe what I could do is just have a reference to the script in here, and then just fire off the function from there. So here's what we're gonna do. Switch. I'm gonna reference another one of my scripts that I made this for. Cal Wonder, I think it is. No. It wasn't Cal Wonder, it was Cal Control. It wasn't Cal Controller. Actually, this is something I gotta get rid of. Delete. Cal Move. Was it Cal Move? It was Cal Move. Okay. So switch AI. So it was based. Okay, cool. So yeah, so basically what's gonna happen is we are going to be affecting I'll switch with it here. I'm targeting things that way. Lock distance check. And we don't need that anymore. Okay. Let me double check how I reference things. Yeah, I don't use those anymore, but let's keep them around for right now. I'll just comment them out. Okay. No. No, this is collision detection. Come on. Strap, yep. Yep. Alright. I'm going to switch this, and we're going to base this off of public int AI case. Sure. You know what? We'll just name it the same thing. It's fine. Got its own AI case. So AI case. And we'll just do the same. Let me double check. Let's get a reference little code. So yeah, that would just open brackets. Cool. Cool. Go ahead and open them brackets. Case 1. This is where it gets interesting because, okay, so yeah, case 1, and the reason why it's giving me this error is because it wants a break. Break case 1. We're gonna put travel find here. So X. Case 1 is we travel normally. That's it, essentially. And then case 2. We're gonna do the stop. So break. We're going to reference the AI node script. So what we're going to be doing is referencing the script itself. We're not going to be really going in hard. Okay, so we're going to set up a reference to this script. Now we're not necessarily going to be referencing the node at which it was made. We're going to be referencing the script itself. So interesting. Which actually brings me to, how do we determine which node is doing this? Reached. That's a good question. I didn't think of this because we're not actually doing this based off of a volume, so it's got no position to it. So yes, so what we have to do is compare the position of the node to the player itself, which we can do here. And then from there, we can fire off this node reached thing. Okay. So stand, execute stand. Well, actually, we don't really need to do that. What we need to do here is, well, what we're going to do here is we're going to make sure we can calculate this. So we have the AR already linked, so we know that the two things have reached each other. But for right now, it only thinks, the only thing that it knows is that a node and the AI player that we have linked here, it just knows that a node has reached it, because the only thing it sends off is a yes or no, a node has been reached. So we need to do a second check, is it this node that's been reached? So what we're going to do that is, we're just going to do this in the update for right now, just to make sure, you know, if AI instance dot position transform dot position dot x. Let's just do it by x for right now. Equals this dot transform dot position dot x. Sure. Then I mean, at this point, we might as well just check. Node reached. So yeah, node reached equals true. So that just means that this doesn't, oopsies, this doesn't do anything as of right now because it's redundant. It's redundant and it doesn't do everything that we need it to do. So let's go ahead and save it and go back. All right. Let's go ahead and do the thing. Cool. Okay. All right, that gets us everything we need then. Let's also make sure. Well, yeah. So this is really going to be the test. Although it's actually not. Okay, never mind. So, okay, we honestly might not even need that. That's fine though. That's why we think these through. All right. So we got that. We know that that's true. Okay. The other week. But that's not even gonna work for right now. All right. Execute stand. So now we know that it's reached this node. Let's just throw it in here. I might have to rename this. And it reaches true. Else it's false. Yes. Facile. But no, I actually spelled it right this time. I felt facile coming on. And so there's a new inner stand. 2 seconds. Executing the stand. Good there. Reach was false. Okay, good. And now, since we have that reference to the player character, it needs a direct reference to us as well. And then we can start executing things within there, which is going to be imperative for the switch states. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to eliminate all this here. We don't need this. I may make another bool. I probably will, frankly. But no. So sweet. That's my thinking sound. All right, cool. So now we have saying stand. We're going to reached. We're gonna set up. We're gonna set up a series of instances in here. And so we have the stand. We have, what was it, the interact? It was find an object specifically to interact. So public void, this will be pretty easy. Find object. This one's gonna be tied to a public game object, because basically what we're going to do is of interest, object of interest. We're basically going to have it direct the player to the object of interest, and then it's going to go there for a certain period of time, and then it's going to continue on. Which basically means that basically means we might have to make a few of these. So stand, and this may not be the best way to do things. So we're going to do stand. We're going to do stand. Control C, Control V. Find. And search. Stand, find, and search. So stand, find. Wait, don't stand. Interact. And search. So we're going to do this for 7 seconds. And we're going to do this one for 20 seconds. Let's do this for 16 seconds. Just let it sort of mull over itself. Interact. Okay. All right. I may be doing this part wrong. I've had some problems with these before. Let's just say that. But let's say execute stand. This is we want to first and foremost we want to make sure that we might as well just put this first and foremost here, and then execute things afterwards. The reason I'm thinking now is because what's going to happen is, well, maybe it won't loop. There's potential for it to loop, however. There is potential for it to loop. So we'll get there when we get there, but I'll probably have to switch out how we take out this false. I'll probably switch it with one of these, frankly. So what's going to happen is it's going to say it's true. It's going to fire off one of these, which is going to fire off the actions to the character player. They're going to move around a bunch. And then once the time is up, it's going to fire off that is false. It's going to switch the case back to 1. And then, yeah. So execute stand. We're going to take this back to stand. Oopsies. Nope. Stand. And we're going to have one more public int AI case reference. Okay. And AI case reference equals AI case. All right. So we're going to go ahead and right here we're going to be I wonder public game object. Let's find a scriptable object. Scriptable object. node travel node script, because we're not referencing a game object, we're referencing a script. At the start, we're gonna say travel node script equals get component, I think, AI dot, I think, no, we need, right? No. Can't convert it to a scriptable object. Alright, fine. Fine. This is the most confusing part. Alright, fine. Fine, we'll just reference node dot node action. I don't think this works like this, so we'll have to say. I just wanted to reference the script. Let's take a look. Referencing script.
This makes it.
Okay, scripts. Referencing scripts and Unity. Reference and access to the script in Unity and C#. Da, 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 da. Okay. Not velocity. Check reference script. Okay. I like that comment there because that's exactly what I'm looking for. What if I want to reference it if it's not attached to anything? Yeah, I don't think that's. I mean, I could honestly reference any object with the script on it. And it would probably be okay. But I want it to be unique for each one. So we'll go ahead and do that. This may be a long way around, but we'll see. Okay. So let's go back. Let's for instance just reference let's just reference the one object. So let's just go game object. So game object. Did I press insert? I pressed insert at some point, didn't I? Darn it. Game object. JavaScript, we're going to have this get component. And we will... Can that be good? Can I just do that? Component in children. Let's just say in children. Because it's going to be in the child. I mean, gosh darn it. God. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to have to be something else. Then it's going to be referencing this, and it's going to be affecting the case ID. So AI case equals dot AI case ref. All right, so now we have, it's going to just be referencing one of them yeah. Okay. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to be having this script reference, I mean, essentially any of them with the script on it. But each individual one is going to be firing off their own individual way that they affect the script itself. So it's still going to be okay. I just feel like it's just weirder than it should be. So that's going to have to be that, and then, yeah. So we're going to have this one case ref, and then I think we can have this fire off dot stand. Darn it. Gosh darn it. Oh, I'm sorry. Get children AI dot stand. Oh, execute stand. Okay. So it's execute stand. Execute stand. After executing stand, we're going to go back to AI case equals 1 and break. So there we have it. Executing stand, arranged and true. So now we have to set up here is all right. So now what we need to do is execute stand Actually, no, because I have to reference it directly within here. Okay. So it won't let me go right to stand. It won't let me inherit the enumerator. Oh, I can't. So that... dot stand. Fine. Execute stand. Go to 1. Let's just do the test for now, which is not reach this. And go ahead and AI equals 2. Okay. So we're going to be switching the case to 2. Now, I might as well just do it through the update. I think that's why it's not firing off all the time. So AI. No. So first, before the switch, we want to be now. This may also provide a problem with let's see, node action. This might also be providing a problem with how this works. So we need to be careful. So this isn't going to work right off the bat the way we want it to. But we'll find a way. Destination switch. Travel find. We're also going to want to put this in here as well. Right, so this will only cycle through this. Okay, so let's work through the logic of this. So destination switch says if these two things meet, go ahead and fire off the next one. Which is immediately apparent. Fires off the next one. Yeah, we got that. We don't immediately want to do that. Travel find doesn't need to be in here. Okay, we got it. Travel find doesn't need to be in here. Travel find is just setting up what is supposed to be happening once it reaches the end. Okay. Destination switch. Yeah, okay. This isn't going to work, but I'm going to make sure that the pause is there, at the very least. It's going to keep... It's only going to do it once. I think it's only going to do it once. Well, you know what? Let's just see what happens now. We're not going to be able to tell if it stands still or not. Unless it completely works, but I don't think it's gonna. Correct. Okay. Oh, right, because we haven't set the case. We're going to start AI case. AI case equals 1. And this is going to be well, okay. So let's just make sure this still works. AI case is going to be 1. Still nothing, huh? 2. Yeah, okay, so travel node script. What did I do? Oh, jeez. Okay. Travel node script isn't set to anything because we haven't linked it yet. Okay. So, travel node script. Okay. So node action. Case 1. AI case equals 1. So it should be firing this off right now. Should be firing it off right now. It's not, for some reason. It's not doing that. Oh, I did do that. What? Hold on. I missed something. What did I not see? Let's see. At some point she moved. At what point does she move? Huh? Huh? Okay. Alright. Let's take a look. It's switched to 1. Node action. Yes. 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 Destination switch. I mean, it's the travel fine, node action, destination switch is on case 1. It should be firing this, specifically this. It does equal 1. So, what's the dealio? What did I break? Points. Did I take out something that allows it to travel? Because I'm not seeing anything here that actually... I'm not seeing anything here that actually allows it to move somewhere. Yeah, that's travel fine. Destination switch. Oh my god. What did I do? What have I done? Okay, I can't just have blanked on that and accidentally erased how this moves. Oh no, it's right there. So wait. Is it not going past here? I wonder. I wonder. Let's test it out and see. Yeah, that's going to reach its only first point, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Alright. Alright, so that makes sense. Which means I'm going to have to put that in there. Which, let's see. No, still not working. This is not even trying for the scripts, huh? Or the switches. Node actions. They're named the same thing. Interesting. Case 1. It only fires once, essentially, huh? It does. Okay. Alright. Alright. No, we'll have to work through that. My money is on that this works again. No. No, it doesn't. I think Oh man. Sometimes you break things, you know? And put it back together. That gives you a better understanding of what's working. Sometimes you just break things. You break things to put it back together, and that's how we learn. That's what my son does with old electronics. There's less learning and how they work and more just trying to break them. Yeah, okay, so it's actively the switches. let's learn about how switches work. Well, actually, Unity switch system. No, I don't want to do that. Switch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just want to know how switches load. Okay. Okay. All right. It doesn't exactly answer my question as to why the switch statement is basically overtaking this, but from my assumption, educated assumption, it's that it's trying to cycle through it, but it should break is the thing. Let's look back at the cow. Yeah, I only have it through the cow. And that's what's working. Okay. It's fine. I had forgotten. That just simply means we need to find a way around it. We just do a bool. Let's try that. Private bool is walking. Sure. Is walking. No. Follow path. Follow nodes. Follow nodes equals true. Cheer. True. And then follow nodes equals true. Follow nodes equals false. If follow nodes equals true, sure, true. Okay. We have this set up, case ref equals true. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Come on. Come on, turn. Actually, stop for 2 seconds. What's your AI case is set to 0? Why is that to 0? It's okay. We're gonna AI case set. Oh, right, I haven't said it yet. AI case equals 1. So we weren't actually referencing anything within it. So it was just going off the thing. So AI case is set to true. Let's go ahead and see. And if this doesn't work, we're gonna break down and cry. No, we're gonna break down everything going on between the scripts nodes. Wait. It's still set to 1. Okay. Point 1. Oh. Gosh darn it. Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. Well, no, because it works just fine otherwise. That's interesting. Okay, so here's the thing. We have this node set up, right? And all the positional data. Oh, I'm wrong. What? AI actor 2. Yeah, okay. I don't understand. So my original thinking process was that since I put them underneath the assets and the components, they're now running off of their own value within here. Okay, yeah, so it's just literally the switch. And I'm kind of curious. Component 2. Let's wait till it reaches the next one. So it was 0.3. Interesting. Now it's still, so it's calculating the world data. All right, well, it never switches it to number 2. AI case ref equals 2. Reaches it. AI case ref equals 2. We're going to Ooh, okay. So, node action. We may have to do this. X B. No, because that wouldn't work either. Because it would have to work within the switch itself. Tell you what, let's go even simpler. Let's make sure we're firing this thing at all. Print switch fired. Switch fires, fine. Let's go ahead and see if the switch fires at all. A lot of time I find it's just conflicting stuff. I can't switch to the scene. Why can't I? Switch fires. Alright. Switch is always firing. I can't switch to the scene. Why can't I switch to the scene? Good deal. Oh, how weird. Yeah, I mean, it's firing. What? Why? Okay. Switch is firing. Everything's firing. Alright. Tell you what we'll do. We'll switch this to 2. Although, when it starts, it won't work. It's just going to go back to 1, but we'll manually switch it to 2. See if it works. So it's at 1. Let's switch it to 2. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to see if it switches into there. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and see if it switches into the second case at all. Switch is firing. Do I have timing off for this? Let's just give it a second. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch this to 0.1. See if it pauses. for just the briefest of seconds. Although, it's obviously not doing it because it's not setting it to false. Right? Although that's not necessarily true. Two. Okay. No, it's not doing it at all. Alright, let's go ahead and look at quarantine again. Unity quarantine. Coroutine. Sure. Spins, wait 5 seconds. Yeah, I mean... Oh! Me being an idiot. Me being an idiot. Right? Okay. Yield return. So, yeah. Start quarantine. I before E. Start quarantine to the effect of stand. Is it? Really? All right. Sure. What does it need? Can I really not? All right. Fine. I will see if I could reference the enumerators. Let's... God damn it. But it's... This is why I don't like working with quarantines. Because it just... sucks the fun out of everything. Alright, fine. New, wait for seconds. Hold on. Okay. Yep. Maybe... Okay. This obviously isn't going to work. But, you know. See what happens. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Nothing yet. Okay. Reason being, for this part, I mean, obviously, fine. Quarantines. Alright, fine. That's fine. That's fine. Do what we did before. I just wish I could hold this data inside of here instead of having switch. That's fine. We'll just use this as a switch. That's fine. Case ref equals 2. And then we're going to make sure Alright, this is going to switch it to 2 and not back to 1. But I just want to see the switch happen. I want to make sure that the switch happens. I want to make sure that the switch happens. That's all I want. I just want to see the switch happen. Make the switch happen. Make the switch happen. Make the switch happen. You can do it. You can do it. And it just halts the script. Oh, I just had it in my head as to why that's happening. Case 1. Oh, what was I just thinking? I should have said it out loud. Alright, node action. There's nothing. We're firing. I mean, case ref 2. Oh. Well, on awake it sets it to the case ref. On start. Let's go to on start. Void start. Capital S. That way I'd be hard pressed to think that this is actually what's happening here, but let's give it a shot. Oh, also, oh my god. No. Boy howdy. Sure hope that's not what's stopping it. That's why we work on these things for long periods of time. Okay. Case 1. Switch to case 2. Switch to case 2. Give it to me, please. It's not switching to case 2. Where's the switches firing from right now? Hold on. Where did I put it? Switch firing case 2. But it's not in case 2. It's on case 1. Wait. Is that the start? Print. We're gonna AI case plus AI case ref. Just so we make sure I know where the case ref is at this point in time. Now, I don't know why the switch fired is firing right now. It shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. Because we're on case 1. On case 1 all the time. is starting off on case 2. Interesting. If AI instance, which is currently set. Wait. Object of interest. Oh, because we're not using that quite yet. AI instance. Okay. If AI instance is transform X, and this is to transform X. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and complete the loop here. Oopsies. C, B, Y, Y. Yep. Else it's false. Yep. Let's go ahead and make sure. Mm-hmm. AI case is still equals to 2. Actually, let's go back. Case ref is equal to 2 for that one. For the actor, it's still equal to 1. What is pushing this to 2, however? Because this shouldn't... If and case ref equals 2. That may not be necessary. Matter of fact, that may be what's screwing this up. If these things reach our destination at the point, it should equal nothing. It should equal 0. Because we haven't set it up. So let's look right here. It's set to 0 right now. Good. Let's see it change to 2. It never changes to 2. But that certainly was stopping it, wasn't it? This is just at the start, however. Switch never fired, which is good. If these things happen, so on a basic level, this isn't happening. It's not recognizing this. It's not recognizing this. Now, the code is going to stay like this. We're just making sure we can make sure that it fires properly. But it ain't. So, position Y, transform position Y. it... Is it simply not? Well, let me test one thing. Is node reached firing? Is node reached firing? Node reached is no longer firing. Wait a minute. Okay. Well, I took that out originally because this should be enough to cover that. This should cover it. I mean, AI instance, yeah. And AI instance is actor 2. Yeah. But the AI actor is different. Oh, man. I know. I think the reason is it was... No, it's still not doing it. It's still not doing it. I was thinking, like, is it because it's setting all of the nodes and their destinations based upon the hierarchy, which means that this node that it was under has its own destination, and then basically imagine that as its destination map, and then you put, so it's 0.6, now it's at 21, so it's basically listing off the destination compared to there. Now, since they're both on the same plane, essentially, I was thinking maybe... Wait, am I doing VOY? I'm not doing VOY. I'm doing VOY! Oh my god! Such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. Z. Alright. Now it's set by the Z. We don't want the Y at all. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. And here's the problem with, you know, giving your code to somebody. It's like, hey, can you tell me what's wrong? It becomes a problem. It becomes a problem of human error. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Does it activate? It does. Does it just stand still? Does it move on? Probably won't move on, but... Actor case is still 1. Okay. Oh, God. It does activate. Node reached equals true. Node reached definitely did equal true. Okay. Was switch being fired? Switch was being fired. Okay. Remain stand. I have stand here. Wait for these seconds. And then AI case equals 1, which means follow node equals true. Which means I'm gonna test to see if I can put it in here. So I'd very much like that. I would like to keep this up here so that this fires first, and then once it's done doing its thing, it fires off the destination. I want this to fire last, essentially. It still is not working, which means that it isn't taking the case from there. AI case equals travel node script. Travel node script. AI node action. And then I have getting the children. So we're not properly referencing this script. I'm only going to work for a little bit longer, and then I'll move on. Not move on. I have other things to do today. I got to take my kids to the park and buy crickets for my lizard. So it's firing case ref equals 2, but the character is not taking it. I might at the start get the AI. I mean, that should work, right? At the very start, it's going to get the case from the AI actor. It should be 1. It should always be 1. Wasn't plus equals. AI case should be 1. Should be 1. Should always be 1. Should be 1. Should be 1 with it. It is 2. It is also firing off the script. But the script isn't doing anything. What did I set the script to? 0.1. Alright, we're going to set it to 2. Just to give it a little bit of a pause. Yeah, okay. If this has happened, it should only be set to 2 then. At the start, its case reference should be set to 1 because it's getting the component. I mean, in Showa, does it matter? I don't think it matters in this case. Or maybe it's just my fundamental understanding of it is different. Okay. case ref should only be set to 1. What? Why are you doing that? It reaches the destination. What's my case ref here set to? It's set to 1? Okay. I mean, alright, I'm going to take a break. We'll come back to this. I'm going to take my kids to the park. See you guys later.